Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Fans in Motion podcast, the only podcast that I say you didn't know you needed. I say to my two friends here, I got a twofer for you today, guys. Heartaches come and go, and all that's left are words I can't let go. If we take some time to think it over, baby, take some time to let me know if you really want to go. You don't know what you got till it's gone. That is in honor of the passing of Jeff LaBar, the guitar player for Cinderella. And on the heels of that one, sadly, I say to my two friends, have you ever met a girl that you tried to date, but a year to make love, she wanted you to wait? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation in honor of the passing of Biz Markie. Baby, you got what I need. She's just a friend. Say hello, Josh.
How do I top that? Yes.
You can just tune me out and let it go.
It's yeah, just another. And then on top of that, Gary Corbett, the keyboard player for Cinderella and Kiss, passed away as well. So yeah, good tribute to all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, while it's still a Night Ranger page, we do try to honor those fallen that we can. The Biz Markie is not quite in our wheelhouse, but who doesn't love that song?
And who else could get away with the lyric? I asked her name, she said blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Come on, that's beautiful.
And I didn't have anything to honor Gary Corbett, but I figured we'll mention all this stuff later on in the Later.
I got a good Gary Corbett story for you.
So there you go. So this episode is about it's on the high road with Night Ranger. We're gonna hear some tales of the adventures of these two, not me, apparently, and also ... and listener questions. Josh, you got anything to tease me about? Make fun of me since I wasn't there? Rub it in a little more?
So we're gonna, as most of you know, I'm doing the social media for Night Ranger, Kelly, and Eric. And originally, so I went to 3 of the shows over the last weekend. I was in Clear Lake, Iowa, Wabash, Indiana, and Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. So,
wow.
And you get the shit kicked out of you there?
Did I? I do the shit kicking.
No.
So
that's from the movie Stripes. When it's like, it's Czechoslovakia. It's like going to Wisconsin, and Harold Ramis responds, I got the shit kicked out of me, Wisconsin.
I don't think I got it the last episode you brought it up. But you've already, I think we talked about this probably in the last episode. But anyways, so and how that all came about was I had bought tickets for Wabash in February. And then I saw that they added that Clear Lake show, which was at the Surf Ballroom, which is iconic venue. It's the last place that Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens all played before they were unfortunately, killed in the plane wreck. Don McLean wrote, the American Pie, so immortalized, that whole thing. So I always wanted to go there. And then, what the hell, throw Wisconsin Dells on at the end. And this is before we were doing anything with Kelly or Night Ranger. So, and then Brent joined me in Wabash on Saturday. And and then Andy.
I was supposed to be there,
but we will talk about the whole adventure of all of that, and then at the end I put a post up today on the Fans in Motion Facebook page. Throw out some questions so we can fill up the episode and just talk and bullshit Night Ranger, and got a lot of good responses. So I just don't know if people were in a good mood to comment today, or if it was me bribing them with the Carrie Kelly guitar pick, one of the two. So there we go. That is your episode. So stay, whatever you're doing, keep listening. If you're working, stop. If you have kids, listen, they will survive.
Stop.
So,
if you're having kids, stop.
Well, if you're in the process of making kids,
Don't stop. But
we are a natural aphrodisiac, so just keep it going.
We could do that. We could do that Gene Simmons tape when he was doing for aerobics. Oh yeah, do it, baby, get down. Ow, oh yeah.
So, Josh, our last episode was collecting 7 wishes. That was just you and me. Brent, I was not with us.
Power was out.
I remember that was such a good time.
Remember it like it was like 10,
man, I don't know.
12 days ago.
There was magic with that
16
show.
days
I'm
ago?
not sure what was different. But yeah, because we didn't have a show last week, just with everyone's schedules and everything. That was the first week I think we missed. I think we missed one other week somewhere in there one time, but not too bad. The vinyl episodes are Jazz Odyssey, so we kind of pulled that out the very end. But there's a lot of people on the page who, collect the vinyl and they get into that stuff. And even a post we're going to talk about today, he mentioned collecting the vinyl and knowing what pressing he had. And 7 Wishes is a good one to talk about, just because that is their peak. They're printing that all around the world. There's so many different variations of it. So if you haven't yet, you don't have to collect vinyl, to just enjoy the episode. It's number one, Andy, we and you bullshitted probably just as much as we talked about the vinyl. And if you want to, even know a little bit about the new Garth Brooks vinyl, that's your episode.
That apparently went astray quickly.
And
that's my fault.
But it's just neat to just see how worldwide they were at that point. So, and a lot of good feedback on it. So there you go. If you have not watched that one yet, what's going on, man? Get on it.
Yeah, what are you doing? Come on, bro.
I thought we didn't have a TV. What the hell happened, Brent?
Look at Brent.
Is that your curtain?
Well, it was. It's just a background.
The Skype background.
Yeah, Skype background.
So let's see, at Night Ranger News, do we have anything new? I mean, are you on world tour with him yet, Josh, or just local tour? Brent, are you replacing Richie?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so.
Not at all.
Brent,
not at all.
Brent, you got any Night Ranger news?
I actually have one piece of Night Ranger news. It's the news that I'm driving everybody crazy with.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, bitches, pre-order.
Bitches. It's a good lead.
We have, when this episode comes out, we will have approximately 16, 17 days until And the Band Plays On comes out. Pre-ordering is our best bet at getting this sucker number 1. So if you haven't done so, pre-order it. Yellow's at nightranger.com. Blue's at newberrycomics.com. Red is available everywhere. And the clear pressing is available at frontiers.it. There is a couple versions around the world on CD that are autographed. I have not found the Japanese company that is selling them, but I am seeing people on eBay listing them for sale.
Yeah.
The Newberry Comics version is sold out. I check it every day. I want you all to,
Newberry
that's
sold out.
Oh, that's sold. I posted that Sunday night, and it was gone Monday.
What's funny is like Frontiers, I think, just posted something today about it. I have to look again, but because the Newberry.
I'm talking about the Newberry CD, autographed CD.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the vinyl pressing.
Not the blue vinyl. They still have it.
Well, there you go, guys. Get on it.
Come on, that's ridiculous.
The least amount of pressing is the blue Newberry. The Frontiers is actually crystal.
Yep.
And just make sure that you go to. They have a European store and a U.S. store. So depending on rock, what rock you're on whichever side of the pond, make sure you don't want to pay extra shipping if you're in the States and you just accidentally go to the European store. So there you go. Come on,
plus
guys.
The crystal is there's 400 pressings of it, 500.
400.
400, and I believe, what was it? There was 150 for the European crowd, and the rest were for Americans. So if it sells out in America, you can go to the European side and pick it up.
Now
or likewise,
they're
vice versa.
They're supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the rough information I had. So again, I mean, it could come out that there's 400 in America and 150 in Europe. But from what I took when I talked to some, and some people, was 250 and 150. That equals your 400. So some other Night Ranger stuff. You have some concert dates. Now, we're going to get into it later. People have some issues of, Night Ranger updating concert list and stuff like that. I'm going to be posting the Night Ranger link tree. You should be able to get every date that's out there on that while they're working on the website. The link tree is basically a one-stop shop. You can go. What I'll do is, usually if shows are within the next 2 weeks, ticket links for each show will be on the top. There's links for the official page. There is links for each color vinyl, a couple interviews. The shows that are farther out are all at the bottom. The 2 new videos are on there. And eventually I'm going to have links to every member's social media, which you click on that, and that will take you to that member's link tree, which will then, I've got a couple built, which will then take you to, like, if you go to Eric's, it'll have a link tree where it says Eric's Facebook, Eric's Instagram, Eric's LinkedIn, or whatever. I think I got the Breakout videos, the Night Ranger webpage, and I actually have some of our interviews on there, and you can just one-stop shop for Eric and go click like and everything on his Instagrams and stuff. So eventually you're going to, we'll have this going with the concerts and everything, but there are some dates out there that I want to throw out there. Bossier City, I think that's in Louisiana. July 31st, they're opening up for Three Dog Night. So there you go with that one. A show that was just announced. It's not on the webpage yet, but we did put it on the Facebook page and some of the others. They're playing Las Vegas August 21st at the Westgate Casino and Resorts, which Westgate is the former International Hotel, Hilton Hotel, where Elvis played, which I'm a big Elvis fan. I've already gone there just to see that stage. I got front row. I put my hand on it. I found an usher that was there when Elvis was there to show me around. I really want to go to that show, but I don't know. I may. Who knows? Milwaukee Summerfest, September 3rd. Monsters of the Mountain, October 15th, which that's Pigeon Forge?
Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge, yeah.
The next night, they're basically in Dixon, which is right outside of Nashville. Prescott Valley, which is right outside of Phoenix, that's November 12th. That is opening for REO Speedwagon. The Lima, Ohio date, January 29th, 2022. Those tickets are on sale. And then San Antonio, February 18th, 2022. And then there's a show I just found out today, Columbia, Illinois, which is right outside of St. Louis. It is September 18th. So there's a country show the night before.
Is it the Good Old Boys Blues Band?
They play both kinds. Country.
With Chicken Wire.
Country and Western.
Rock and a roll.
Josh Turner, who isn't actually that bad. So you got Josh Turner that Friday night, and I think Night Ranger plays Saturday night. Columbia, Illinois, like I said, it's right outside of St. Louis. So I know there's people been asking about St. Louis dates, and there you go. kind of what Brent said. We got the new record coming out. There is going to be a new single, probably, I would assume. Usually, I don't think there's a video, but usually they'll release something right before the record comes out. So there should be something, I would say, coming up. They played Rockfest tonight, which was there was a late edition. I mean, they added it when we were out with them.
Yeah.
2 or 3 bands had canceled, and Night Ranger had that weekend open, and so they played Rockfest. A weird lineup. I mean, it's more newer rock, even though I guess that festival has been going on forever because, people have talked about, these classic rock bands playing there in the past. But who's the singer for Pantera?
Phil Asamo.
Yeah, his band played after Night Ranger. There was other bands that played before, but I don't know who they were, but they're newer groups. Yeah. After that, it's Corey Taylor. Who's the guy from Slipknot?
Yeah, Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor.
And there might be someone else, but then the headliner is Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I mean, Night Range is a little fish out of water in that lineup, but
you know what? It
might draw people in, though.
Well, number one, you're still at the top of your game, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Plus, you know what? Those are people who you play Wabash, a lot of those people are going to buy your record.
Mm-hmm.
This show, you're playing to people, and I'm glad they played Breakout. As far as I know, they did, because my thought process would be, for the majority of people there, every song is going to be a breakout. They're not going to know anything. So at least play Breakout to where you can talk about the new record coming out. So there's people out there who are like, wow, this is really good. Wow, they got a new record coming out? Okay. But as far as I know, there was no secret of my success, no goodbye. And remember, this is a heavy metal show.
Right,
yeah.
They did include Breakout. They did include both Eddie and Night Ranger. They played for an hour. So I think it was something like No High Enough. So I think it was something like Touch of Madness.
Probably their heavier stuff. No Hearts Away, I'm sure.
No, that wasn't on the list.
Rumors in the Air?
No, it was Touch of Madness, 4 a.m., Eddie, Night Ranger, Coming of Age, which was in maybe a little bit higher than that. And then I think just Sister Christian, When You Close Your Eyes, Don't Tell Me Love Me, Rock America. So, but you got both Eddie and Night Ranger.
I'll take it.
In that one night. So as far as I know, everything went good. So yeah, there we go with that.
Is that it? Enough news?
I think that's all we got. Next weekend, we got them playing the Moondance Jam and the show with Styx, which I will be at in Dayton,
at the Phrase,
Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, I still need a ticket, people. It's sold out too damn quick. So anybody in the Cincinnati area that has a ticket, let me know.
Let's and then I guess the other news that we mentioned earlier is, we had Jeff LaBar, Gary Corbett, and then Biz Marquis. They always say they come in threes. Passed away over the last week. Brent, you said you met Gary Corbett, right?
I met Gary Corbett and Jeff LaBar. Which one are you on first?
Biz Marquis.
I don't have a Biz Marquis story other than it is on my MP3 player, that song. It makes me smile every time it comes on.
And
usually I follow with the Humpty Dance after that.
He was a clown prince of rap music, and he was, like I said, for our age group, who doesn't know that song? Younger people, if you don't know Just a Friend, Google it right now. Go to YouTube after you watch this episode, and just laugh. It's a great song, and he didn't care that he couldn't sing. was the best part.
Well, he had a little bit of resurgence. I'm trying to think of when it would have been.
It was a commercial.
It was a
commercial about 5 years ago.
It's longer than that, though. But it was when... It was
it Target?
No, it was still when... it was before streaming, when people were still burning like their CDs onto their computer. Well, you couldn't get album art and stuff. And there was a program, because I had it. There was a program that you could buy, Shock or something, Shockwave, I can't remember, but you could buy it, and it wasn't that great because half the time you couldn't get the album art you wanted, but it would pull in album art for you and stuff and take care of all that in your iTunes. That was probably 2008, 9, somewhere back in there. But yes, like you said, Brent, there were commercials, and that kind of brought him back, and it's probably where some people actually know him from, not his original 89 or whatever that was, but from his resurgence in those commercials. It's weird, though. It probably does seem like 5 years, but I just know by what I was burning stuff onto my laptop. It had to be, maybe the latest 2010, 2011, right in there. But then streaming took over, and then no one, ripped anymore, so no one needed it.
Yeah. So, Brent, what do you want to talk about first? You want to do tell us about Gary Corbett. Inform people why they should know the name of Gary Corbett.
Well, Gary Corbett, gosh, back in 1989, I went to the Newport in Columbus to see the first ever Paul Stanley solo tour. Band was Dennis St. James, Bob Kulick, Eric Singer, before he joined Kiss, and Gary
Not the
Corbett.
real Catman.
But still great. Anyway, so saw Gary Corbett on stage with Paul Stanley. Then, oh God, was it still that same year? Okay, I'm trying to dig up a picture right now. Gary Corbett played keyboards for Kiss on the Hot in the Shade tour, and part of the, I don't know if it was part of the Revenge tour or not, because Derek Sheridan, is that how you say his name, Josh?
Sherinian,
I'm sorry.
Corbett also played, I think you're reversing the tours, Crazy Nights.
Crazy Nights, yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
And
it was Crazy Nights.
It's there's a show over in Europe where the camera crew filmed him playing.
Yeah.
And it's the only show that has footage, because most of the time, if he's playing Hot in the Shade, he's behind the curtain. No one sees him. But on that Monsters of Rock or whatever during the daytime, you see Kiss and a keyboard player, which is the only time you ever see that. But yes, that's the tour.
Yeah. And he would have Paul Stanley's guitar sampled on his keyboard. So when Paul's running around going, people, I just got to hug you. I got to talk to you. I forgot to play my guitar. But you heard it anyway. That was Gary Corbett playing it on the keyboards. So he's a hell of a guy. But long story short, I met Gary Corbett for the first time on the Debbie Gibson tour. He was Debbie Gibson's band leader. And I just had a lot of love for Debbie Gibson back in the day. Still do. And I was trying to find the picture of Deb and I together. She had just kissed me, and I've got a smile as big as the Joker. But in any event, while I was talking to Debbie...
I'm so not a raper.
So when I was talking to... Do what?
I'm so not a raper.
No. I was talking to Debbie, and I asked her, I said, was that Gary Corbett on stage? She went, you know Gary? I'm like, yeah, he played with Paul Stanley and stuff. So she went and got him. And Gary comes over and he's laughing. He said, what the fuck is a Kiss fan doing at a Debbie Gibson concert?
Well, that's what a lot of people watching this are saying.
Yeah, well, anyway, but Deb's hot. So, and Debbie started talking all this stuff about Paul Stanley, how much she loved him. And there was a time where, and I remember this, I've got it on beta tape, where Paul subbed for Deb on Guest VJ on MTV. And he went to FAO Schwartz and bought this teddy bear that would go up to my ceiling, and she was telling me, and he showed it on the air, And he actually did buy it for her and give it to her, and she was saying how sweet Paul Stanley was. Fast forward to the Kiss Hot in the Shade tour. I'm walking through the hallway, and I just got my tour book here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and out from a door comes Gary Corbett. And I was like, hey, and he's in the tour book in the very back, and I said, hey, would you mind autographing this? He's like, yeah, I'm surprised you know who I am. I said, oh, we've met before. And he said, yeah, where at? Another Kiss show? I said, no. Debbie Gibson tour. He goes, you're the only fucking fan I met ever at a Debbie Gibson concert. He remembered me at that point.
That's good.
Pretty good. He's a special guy. He will be missed. And coincidentally, he did play for Cinderella, and we were talking about Jeff LaBar dying. I was going to tell a story about when the day Cinderella came out, I was working in a record store, and I opened up and I saw Night Songs. I flipped it over, saw Gene Simmons was thanked on it, and I instantly bought the album just because of that. Other than that, they looked so freaking cool on the cover. I instantly fell in love with the band. I referred to them affectionately as Rella, and went to the first show they did. Well, not the first show they did with Roth, but they opened for David Lee Roth on his first solo tour. And as I was driving onto the concert, we passed a hotel, and there was a tour bus, a smaller tour bus in the parking lot. And on the marquee, not the Biz marquee, but the marquee of the bus, it said, "Shake Me." And I'm like, I fucking know who that is. So I U-turned it, went to the parking lot, and the bus door was open. And I was sitting out there for about 10 minutes, and I looked at my buddy Joey, and I just walked on the bus. And there's all the guys sitting there. And I said, hey, guys, I'm sorry. I'm being rude. I said, but I got to get to the show, and I really wanted to meet you. And all I had was they were in Billboard magazine, in Polygram Mercury, and I still have it, was congratulating Cinderella on their quick success. And they hadn't seen it. And Jeff LaBar was the first one to come up, and he started going around to the guys, and they were autographing it, and they were talking about it. So cool. Jeff was cool every time I met the guy. The whole band was always cool every time I met him. But Jeff LaBar was really cool. Him and Eric Brittingham whipping those guitars around. I mean, they were showmen. Yeah. They were showmen. And Andy, I know you weren't too big on the music, but they were a fun ass band to see live.
Real quick, Brent, did I ever see them live?
Yeah, you saw them.
I think I did, but I was like, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, I believe you saw the Lynch Mob Nelson tour with them. You saw them open for Bon Jovi.
I saw Nelson?
I'm sure you did.
We need to have a talk.
Because Lynch Mob and Nelson opened for them. But you saw them open for Bon Jovi on the Slippery When Wet tour.
Okay.
You forgot about that already, didn't you? Yeah, I know you've been with me one other time seeing Rella.
Okay. Well, probably with Roth. I saw the Eat 'em and Smile tour.
Yeah, well, you might have gotten there late.
It's possible.
Yeah, well
it
was like that. It's like that time I took him to see Roth up in Dayton, Ohio, on the same tour, and Tesla had just came out with their record 2 weeks before that, and he didn't know Tesla, but he knew Tesla after that show because I kept playing them on the way up to Dayton. Remember that?
Yeah,
Tesla's you're gonna love this band.
And I do.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's nice. You got anything, Josh, you want to say about the?
I've always said, I'm a big Motley Crue fan, I guess, and but the thing is with Motley Crue, I always make the joke, number one, because you always get the people that, because I love the John Corabi record, and I always like the people who are like, well, that's not a true Crue record, and I always reply, it isn't, because it doesn't have any filler, because except for the first record and the second record, Theater of Pain, Girls, Feel Good, great singles, but there's a lot of filler on those records.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the one thing I always liked about Cinderella, though I don't get into them as much or collect them. Those first three records, as records, are so good, straight, all the way through. Better than, if you compare those records to, as a record, to any of those three Motley Crue records I just said.
Yeah. There's more meat on that bone.
And
songwriting's better too.
Yeah. The only thing is, I don't know if you guys seen that Jim Brewer stand-up comedy special where he does the
Hokey Pokey?
The Hokey Pokey is AC/DC.
Yeah.
I love it, but the thing that he did was he ruined. Is it Bad Seamstress Blues? Is that what it's called? Because
falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, falling apart. Because Tom Kiefer does that. Ooh, that that thing that Jim Brewer does, and so now all I hear, and I love that song, but now all I hear is Jim Brewer doing that, That's noise, funny. And it's like, fuck, he just ruined that song for me. But I saw Cinderella. And from here, Buckeye, Central Ohio, Buckeye Lake, Legend Valley was notorious, venue back then. And just in 1987, every teenager that I knew, again, I wasn't a teenager, but my aunts and everybody, they were going to Legend Valley to see Cinderella and Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
And you were there on that show, Andy.
And the Smithereens.
And the Smithereens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much.
And I remember my cousin, it would have been my 9th birthday, 1986. I remember my cousin wore he is my age too, wore a Cinderella shirt because we had it like on camcorder, so that's how I remember it. But I saw them at the Alrosa Villa, 1997, kind of when all these lower kind of bands from that era were getting back together. Decent crowd. Things I remember is Tom wasn't talking after the show to rest his vocal cords. And I think it was Jeff that I thought was going to fight me because I called him Fred. He was not happy. But I'd already talked to him once. And, I knew who they were. It's just it was a slip. And I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was reversed. Maybe I called Fred Jeff. I don't remember. But anyways, I saw them there. And then I got lucky. That's the one thing about Cinderella was, again, you have those health issues that Tom went through.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a studio album since 94. And they never really did a lot of touring. Some scattered stuff in the 90s. But they did get back together in 2011, and I saw them down in Lexington at this club. Karabi opened. And it was just fucking fantastic. Packed, and they sounded good. I still remember, because I had some drinks with Karabi after the show, after his set. So I was kind of in the back, just taking it all in and seeing that whole crowd in the front and watching them play night songs. And dude, they were just on fire. And then, 2 weeks later, they're done with that little tour. And then I don't think they toured since. And Jeff, it's public knowledge, Jeff is really the reason why they weren't doing anything. And, but yeah, it's sad. And you were talking about the guitars. His son is a guitarist. And
I didn't realize the band he's in, oh my God, I just read it.
Is it Tantric?
Yeah, Tantric.
Okay. So,
which I couldn't believe. I didn't even never heard of that, he was in it.
There's a video. It was on one of their Facebook pages, like they went live or something, probably a couple years ago, and it's now kind of been being reshared, where Jeff is showing his son, because his son's trying to do that guitar swing and he can't do it, and Jeff's showing him the tricks. Like, okay, you gotta stand like this, and you don't move, and then you're pushing the guitar. If you just push it here, it'll end up here. And his son, like within 2 tries, has it mastered, and it's all about how you stand and everything. And so just search it out there. It's out there. But yeah, it's just it's starting to become a recurring theme. It seems like just all these guys that we enjoyed and grew up with are slowly leaving us, but at least we got the music to carry on.
Well, it's one of the reasons, and we've talked about it before, that I say to people, like, you better go see these bands while you can and support them while you can, because our heroes are getting older. I mean, we're getting older. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to see these bands, don't think I'll see them on the next tour. You know, I one of my biggest regrets is I kept saying I'll see Rush on the next tour, and then Rush stopped touring, and then Neil died. So as a drummer, I never got to see Neil play live, and that will bother me the rest of my days. So get out there and see him. Any new stuff you guys want to talk about? I noticed a couple of shirts. Josh got a couple of guns you want to show off? Boom!
Brent, what do you got, buddy?
I got cap guns.
Pow!
Pow, pow, pow. Pew notes. Pew, 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 pew. No, I was ecstatic to be in Wabash, Indiana last weekend to walk to the merch table before they opened the doors.
Yeah.
And these two older people were setting out the merchandise, and I see this shirt that I've been wanting for over a year that's been size small, just like that, on Night Rager's web store. I walk up to the pretty old nice lady and say, "Do you have that shirt in extra fat?" She said, "Honey, that's the biggest I got's 3X. I went, "That's the one I need." And I went back to that table later that night, and we'll get to more of this stuff, but we were meeting with some fans of motion in the crowd and getting pictures taken. The merch table only had smalls of everything left.
Yeah.
I mean, they were buying it up. So had we not gone there, I wouldn't have this nice shirt.
That's a cool shirt. What's that say at the bottom?
It says "Rockin' the World since '82."
Love it. Yeah, I like that. I gotta get one of those.
Yeah.
Well, they got smalls.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and talk about this now. So the night before they played the Surf Ballroom, those shirts weren't even out. So at the Surf Ballroom, they had these muscle shirts with this logo, the blue logo.
Yeah.
So they had these muscle shirts. They had the Midnight Madness, like red and black logo. A little bit different though. The logo was a little bit bigger, and a different material because I have a couple of those other ones.
Was it aged looking, like vintage looking still?
Yeah, maybe, I guess. I mean, maybe not as much, but the logo was a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. And they had, and I think they still had these at Wabash, but
They did.
The golf towel, there.
I like that.
Well, I want to eventually maybe redo where I do the podcast. So I thought, you know what, that kind of just stands out, just simple black and
yeah, it looks nice.
So, they sold all of that shit on Friday night. I mean, that crowd Friday night was 1,800 people, almost to sell out. They cleared those merch tables out to where at Wabash they were bringing in some stuff that they hadn't put out because they only had so much space. That all sold out. So in like Wisconsin Dells, it was like some smalls, a couple 3Xs. I think maybe Jack's fingernail clippers were out there. Like they're just trying to throw out some shit. They still had some hats, the trucker hats, but
yeah.
So yeah, I mean the merch table was. I just don't think they expected what happened Friday. But the muscle shirts are on the website. I did post those today. The retro Dawn Patrol is still on the website.
Yep.
And I think they got all the hats, so the trucker hats and then the black hats with the black logo or the white logo. So there's, some stuff on the web store there. Yeah, so
hey Josh, in your meetings and hangings out with the guys in the band, bring up the necklaces, would you? Just say, hey guys, let's do a run of those necklaces. I just say, slip it in when you're talking about the set list and what they should add.
We've always said they don't like money.
I would buy a necklace right now, man.
Because I think there was a shirt, maybe someone was wearing it at one of the shows, and it's the Midnight Madness shirt where it's got all the song titles on the back.
Yeah, that was Robin.
Okay, so it's a Midnight Madness tour shirt. It has all the song titles on the back, and then on the front, it's got a group photo. Well, obviously, you're not going to print a retro shirt with members that aren't in the band. So throw just an old logo on there, but keep the back. And, you could do that. Obviously, the 7 Wishes. I mean, there's so many iconic things. That, and the necklaces. I mean,
just mention, even if you just do it on pre-order so you know how many to make. You don't have to make a warehouse full of them.
Well, here's the thing is, and this goes for about any band, they're just so far removed from that. I mean, that's not what they do. You'd be talking to management or whoever does their merch and stuff like that. I mean, could the band put a bug in it? We want that. Yeah, but
but why?
But they're musicians. They just want to.
Are they going to sell 1,000 of them?
I think. Well, I mean, 1,000 of them. If you're making $10,
I think the necklace would.
If you're making $10 a necklace, that's $10,000.
Ask them if we can license it, and I'll get the damn things made. And Fans in Motion we'll make them. I'll sit out there and sell it at the concerts.
There's so much.
I'm cheap and easy.
I'm not going to go too far with this because it's none of my business. But like I said, we've all got ideas of what they could do, and God,
that's all right.
It would just be nice to have a bigger variety.
But but here's the thing: is every band's like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for Kiss.
Yeah. I mean, and the last thing you want to be is stuck with inventory. And
you're right about that.
I mean, they do some things right. Like, if you're going to do this, and that's, I guess, would be my argument of, again, I don't know space and logistics, but there's no dates on these shirts. It's not World Tour 2021.
Yeah.
So you could sell this shirt for the next 3 years.
Right.
You could sell, all these shirts. There's one thing I think on the website. It's the hoodie. And it says 1982 to 2019. It's number one, those 2 years don't really. I mean, 82 makes sense, but what? I mean, what?
It's not an anniversary year.
Yeah, it's but that's why I said if they ever do a tour book, don't make it don't just make it a generic tour.
Yeah, not a specific tour.
Yeah, just Night Ranger Live. And then don't put dates on it, because then you can sell it over, or if you're going to do it, what you do is you print them, in December of 2020, and you do Night Ranger Live 2000 or December of 21. So when you go out in 22 and 23, you can just put Night Ranger Live 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
Ain't it weird just thinking we're at those dates? And,
I know.
It is.
And then you got 2 years to sell them. But, you don't want to be selling tour books, 2016 tour book.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
What would be cool is if they
didn't have.
It'd be cool if they just went through every year, 2 pages dedicated to 1982, two pages dedicated,
and
that'd be cool.
You take it up to a certain point. You just, like I said, you just don't want to date it. You always want it to
exactly.
So, just a few things. So this is Midnight Madness. If you look up in the corner, we got that gold.
Yep.
That gold budget stamp. That's the first time that I've ever seen it on Midnight Madness. And what is unique is they got a sticker over the barcode. I've never seen them put another sticker over that barcode. I haven't dug in. I just came across this by happen chance. Someone said they had an Italian Midnight Madness. I looked at it and I'm like, there ain't fucking shit Italian about this. But I do see this little gold stamp. I don't think there's anything different with the labels. I have to look. But it's the first one I've ever seen where they've done that gold stamp on Midnight Madness and made it a budget record. The other thing is, I spent probably too much on it, but what the hell? I got a test pressing of
Rock in Japan,
which was Cleopatra Records. So it comes with there's 4 test pressings. I don't know how many they're going to sell, but it comes with their invoice for the 4 test pressings. And it's got I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got the handwritten. Yep. I don't have well, I guess has on this side, does 2018. Side A, number 1118, Night Ranger test pressing. The same thing on the back, except it doesn't have the date. And then they just made, to sell it on eBay, just this little cardboard thing, test pressing, and their catalog number. So, you know,
why are there 4?
Well,
you know,
I would say
probably just for consistency. Run 4 of them, make sure they all sound the same.
Well, I guess there'd probably be a few reasons. It depends on how many copies they're printing of this thing too, and how many plates they're using.
Yep.
So, or they probably just realized, hey, we'll send you guys 4 test pressings just because they know off the market they might be a little valuable, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, test pressing is what they do is to make a record. You have basically these metal plates that I guess the vinyl. What's that material made?
It's called a puck.
Well, I know the puck, but what's it made out of?
Vinyl pellets.
Probably like a polycarbonate or something, or poly.
Well, I think
someone will correct this.
No, the black ones last longer because they do have more carbon in them. So you're right there. But anyways, yes, it's like he said, it's a hockey puck, looks like. And these plates come down, smash it, now you have your record. So a test pressing is basically the first one they use on the plate. So they press it, and then you have someone go in a room and listen to it to make sure the plate doesn't have any fuck-ups on it. And that's where your test pressings come from. So they're depending on how many plates they use, because the plates are only good for so long. You would have a test pressing for each plate. I wouldn't suspect that they would have, that many, plates for this. So I would assume they probably just pressed 4, and here's 4 of them, and let me see something real quick. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah. Oh, and just one little thing. I've been meaning to show this. It'll probably be sold out by the time So as many of you guys know, Walmart and Target do the exclusive vinyl. Walmart's doing a great job doing all this exclusive vinyl. Andy, we talked about the Metallica one. One of my favorite albums of all time, the Shinedown record, they just released on this
clear splatter.
That looks nice.
And rainbow splatter. And it just, you see this, and then we just know how bad the Kiss ones have been. Like, so here is.
Look at that, man. That's cool looking.
Now, well, that one where we made our own album up of greatest hits, that vinyl on the cover was from one of the Walmart's Kiss ones. That was beautiful.
So
yeah, it's nice.
It's a gatefold single record, great record. If you don't have it, but I just thought that was just so well done that I wanted to show it on one of these episodes, and I just haven't got to it yet. So there is some new stuff.
There you go. So we ready to jump into this?
I got all these Night Ranger picks like laying around. It's just like I just toss them,
Yeah.
Just flick them.
You're like
throw me one, Josh. Throw one to me.
Well, here's a good little story. We were in Wisconsin Dells, and I was kind of like out in the crowd a little bit, I don't know, 10 yards, 15 yards from the stage. And Kerry comes over. I was over towards Kelly's side. Kerry comes over. He sees me out there. And he kind of smiles, and he takes his pick and just does his thing. And he's got it down. He's a professional. Yeah. That thing's coming right at my head. And this older lady was just a little bit, off to the side of me, in front of me. She reached out her hand and caught it. And, picks are hard to catch. And she got it. And Kerry saw it. And he flicked another one coming right at my head. She reached out again and caught that one in midair. And I stopped. I was like, wow. Like, I got to give you props for catching both of those. Like, she didn't hit it and it dropped. And she went to give me one. And I was like, you don't need to. But they threw me a couple more. Like, Richie, I'm standing probably about the same spot a little bit later. And I see something fly by me. He's not as good. And I picked it up, gave it to a little kid and stuff. So, but yeah, there's, I'm just joking, obviously, but yeah, Carrie's got that guitar pick thing down.
Josh, we'll do something that Carrie could never do. Throw one at me right now. Hey, got me yourself a Carrie Kelly pick. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that.
You're just like that little old lady.
Damn.
You stoned it at me.
Thank God it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't a Jack Blade's thumb pick. He broke the fucker.
Yeah, before we came on, I had it, getting ready to show. I was going to show, and it broke. I'm heartbroken. I waited since I was a kid to get one of these. I'll get another one.
Another chance, yeah.
I'll get another one.
I got this one.
Guys,
you want that one?
No, it's the thumb pick.
Hey, Josh, throw it here. God, thanks, Josh. Got it right there.
Wow.
But
our special effects budget has to come up.
We are incredible.
Yeah, we're nerds. All right.
Well, tell me some stories about the show that I didn't make.
Yeah, you a story. Will ya? A real good story. I won't quit till ya. Sorry. Doing that was Anthrax.
I mean, Josh can tell us about the other two, but I want to hear about Wabash. I couldn't make it. I had reasons I couldn't make it, and I'm sorry I couldn't. It looks like everybody had a fantastic time. I was watching Night Ranger's live streams and Eric's live streams and Kelly's live streams, and it's awesome. The backstage stuff was the stuff that I know Brent and we've dreamed about that our whole lives. Like, I just want to see him walking in. I mean, any band. I love that stuff. So, and I'm sure everybody on the page that was watching was loving it too. But two of my dear friends were actually live and in person there, and I should have been there. So,
and you saw me a couple times.
I did. I saw Brent in some of the videos. I was like, well, I can't miss the shirt. And then I forgot that Josh had those front row tickets. I was like, oh yeah, that makes all kinds of sense.
Yeah, I thought he sold them.
Well, yeah, I didn't tell Brent that I had them, and that's the one thing about you not going, Andy, was because again, I bought those tickets for Wabash before I was doing any of this stuff. Okay, so I had the two front row center. I mean, you couldn't buy better tickets, right?
Yep.
And I kept them. I didn't. I thought about selling them, but so originally. Again, Surf Ballroom was the night before. I'm going to Wisconsin Dells the day after. Originally, I was going to sit in that seat and party it up. But with you not going and then me having this pass, I went ahead and gave Brent and Robin those two seats. And then I just went ahead and worked it. So, and some of the stuff, I mean, I'm going to leave out details because, this is where you kind of have that, the conflict of interest where, you kind of, with doing the social media and doing certain things, you're in their personal world, and I don't want to, some of that stuff's just off limits. Nothing big, it's just
that's fine.
I don't
just give me the highlights.
Well, so I left early. The good thing,
I'm getting something while you're telling this. I'll be right back in just 5 seconds. Keep going.
I don't want you to go.
I'm just gonna. It's just right here. I'm gonna pick something up. Go ahead.
All right, take your time. But so I left, because I had my kiddo Tuesday, and after he went to bed, I hit the road. Originally, I was going to fly to these dates, But then with American Airlines canceling some of their stuff, and then some of these cities aren't that big, so it just screwed up everything, so I ended up driving. I stopped in Peoria and saw the grocery store for that Dan Fogelberg song.
Yeah, yeah. Old Lang Syne.
I went and saw that on like at 4:00 in the morning.
Which I didn't know that. I like that little fact. I love that song.
Yeah.
That's I enjoyed that post.
But it needed my Jay and Silent Bob in the picture.
Yeah, that was funny.
What was crazy is that's like that was the second time I was in Peoria in like 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it's like it's like why the hell would I ever want to go to Peoria? And now I'm there twice. But weird city. But anyways. But Peoria is where I had them play Breakout at the baseball game.
Yeah, that's right.
So I stopped there. I was there Wednesday. I was there Wednesday. I was there Thursday.
Yep.
Friday was the day of the show. Trying to one little. I mean, I don't think it's like. I went in with crew load in at the Surf Ballroom because it's a historic venue. I wanted to take some photos and just do stuff, and such a great place. It's just so much history there, and nothing has changed. Yeah. And
the phone booth you took a picture of was really cool.
Yeah, it's the phone booth where Buddy Holly made his last phone call, and Kelly sent me a text. He's like, you drove, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, you want to meet up, and I just need to get a couple things, and we'll go get lunch. So I picked him up in my little travel car, and there's Kelly Kagi in my car. We're listening to Deep Purple. I run him, just run to the store, just needed a few things, and me being there the day before, I'd found this great little deli. It didn't look like much on the outside, but you go in, I'd been there for 40 some years, and I ate their lunch every day, so it's my third day there, and first day was empty, second day busy, and then me and Kelly went in, it was pretty much empty. Yeah, and I'm just sitting there, me and Kelly eating, I had corned beef and rye and chips, and I can't remember what he had, but we're talking about books and shit. We're reading, and I'm just like, eating lunch. I don't know, but we were just talking about stuff we liked, and so
was he lucky?
Go ahead, Brent.
Was he lucky enough to get through wherever he needed to go without being unnoticed?
That's what I was going to ask. Can he walk around without people bugging him?
I think most of these guys can probably go about anywhere as long as they're not too close to the venue.
Well, I mean, if I knew they were in town, I would know who it is if you walked into a store,
Yeah,
of
but
course.
I mean, you would, but again,
but like I said, if you're not close to the venue, you're not expecting them to walk into a deli.
Yeah. Here's what's a little interesting was I was eating dinner with Ed one night, and we're getting ready to leave, and I don't know, I think I just texted Kelly about something, but me and Ed are getting ready to leave, and over the music playing in like the little bar restaurant we were at, Sister Christian comes on. We just kind of look at each other, that's kind of unique. But yeah, I mean, everything was good. So the day of the show, again, so I went and did that. And then I went back to the venue. What's great also about this is there's really not a backstage to this place, but there is a small side dressing room that they use as a production room, and everybody signed that. And I got some pictures. but Don McLean, right? That's who it was. I don't know why.
American Pie.
Yeah. He wrote the lyrics to the song on the wall and signed his name. So it's this dressing room with signatures all over.
That's cool.
Waylon Jennings, who was the bass player that night, he signed it. I found Willie Nelson. Just a lot of guys. The sinks that are there are old, and it's rumored that Buddy Holly used one of the sinks to wash his clothes because the laundromat was closed that day. And so that's something I would have never got to see if I didn't have this special access. So while they were sound checking, I kind of again went around the venue. I really don't remember much from soundtrack check, except I watched some of it from the very back, in these booths that were very cool. Still have the painting on them from the 50s. And so that was cool. And then when they took off, I went out to the crash site. So the crash site's out in the middle of nowhere, which is pretty much all Iowa. But it's, go to nowhere, then go about 5 miles further. And on the side of the road you'll see these iconic Buddy Holly glasses. Mm-hmm. So it's a big kind of like statue of the glasses, right? And then if you hike about a quarter mile down this field, you'll come to the crash site. So what I did was I took my laminate, the all-access laminate, and I kind of draped it over the glasses and took some... Did I send these to you guys?
You posted them.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah.
All right.
You posted them on your own.
Send them anyway.
All right. Well, anyways, so you got the glasses with that laminate hung over it, and then I went to the crash site and I hung that laminate over as well. So, Night Ranger paying, their respect basically. I took a cool picture of Jack. So if you look on the stage, there's these like palm trees on the side, and you'll see it even in the old photos. Well, on the side that the production office was on, there's these two like lounge chairs, and then the palm trees. And Jack came out, and I was out there. And he's like, "Oh man, this is cool." I was like, "Let's get a picture. Give me your phone." And Jack gave me his phone, and I took a picture. And hopefully we'll get that on his page. But so yeah, I mean that place was 1,800, and they may have ended up selling it out, but it was just a huge crowd, great crowd. Mm-hmm. They were on fire that night. I got some great video, some great photos, which I've released a couple. Brad used one on a couple things, and then I put one on the Night Ranger website, the one from the back, which looks like they're in an airplane hangar or something. But the videos that I took that night, I mean, this just tells you how much people are wanting that stuff. I did the opening Touch of Madness, so them not coming out to the stage, but from like the front row perspective of them, the show starting. That's got 21,000 views right now. And there's the photo I was talking about.
Yeah.
From the
back. That's a great shot.
Had a double filter that one, so I filtered it, saved it, and then ran it through a filter again to bring out all those lights and stuff. So
that's great.
So that's why that one spotlight going down on Jack really, jumps out at you, because it's kind of double filtered. But hey, but I did one on Eric's page that night, and it's got 10,000 views almost. I'm pretty sure I did one on Kelly's. So, I was doing Night Ranger, Eric's, and Kelly's and posting some photos. And, yeah, so after that show, I took off like almost right after they went off stage because I was driving to Wabash. I wasn't going to stay.
Yeah.
I drove, and about halfway there, I crashed at a rest stop for a few hours, and then got into Wabash about 11:30 that morning, and showered and tried to rest, and it wasn't really happening. I was maybe got a little bit of sleep, and then I just my hotel was right across from the venue, so I walked over and got a bite to eat, and nothing going on, so I helped the head out a little bit. It's just mundane shit, nothing cool, but just to keep busy and not fall asleep. And then
I got a picture of you sleeping.
Well, hey man, you gotta crash.
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'll go get it when we get to that part of the story.
We don't have to.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Because you can just tell how worn out he is.
Hey, when I was in the military, it's like if we're like doing mission essential shit and we're not on duty but we're waiting, crash. Get all the rest you can. There were some people like, you don't sleep in uniform. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If we got to be up for another 12 hours, we're dicking off here for 2. Sleep for the 2. And then we're going to, do our business. But, so yeah, I'll crash. And I can sleep out anywhere. All my friends have a story. We'll be at baseball games, and I'll just be, sleeping.
I fell asleep at a concert one time.
Oh, no. Me and, my kid's mother, we went to Cheap Trick and Peter Frampton, I think. Was that, the Ohio State Fair? Hotter than fuck out. So we go in, and it's nice and cold. And Cheap Trick's playing, but it's not loud. And the seats are comfortable. And she's kind of leaning forward, so I kind of got that back. I was out. And just, concert going, everybody's cheering, man. I'm just anyways, so then Brent shows up.
Yeah. Made your day a lot better, didn't I?
Yeah. So, I tell him to come up the loading ramp, and I'll meet him out there, and I'll let you.
Yeah, Brent, give us some highlights. Oh yeah, Josh is gone.
That was after the show.
Yeah, nothing was going on. I knew we were gonna be waiting, so just
He's like, I got 10 minutes. I'm going down.
You just lower the hat and just
I was talking to some of the fans of Motion, hanging out in the hallway, and I look across. I'm like, check Josh out. I'm like, I got to get a picture of this.
It's just a little bit of exhaustion, a little bit.
I'm not razzing you. It's just that I thought this documents the day. Yeah.
So Brent, give us some highlights.
I'll let you take it over there so you can.
I go up. I get into Wabash after I've been sitting in traffic. Oh God, 74. Anybody who knows 74 and through Indiana has been one way, east and west, for the past 3 to 4 years. It's still that way. Still backs you up. But anyway, Wabash is interesting. The town, pulling into the town, coming across the bridge, there was 2 gas stations. I knew right away I better fill my car back up because when I leave tonight, one of these 2 ain't going to be open. And I was right. The Speedway was open.
Yeah.
But it was great because you could pretty much figure out which one was City Hall with the steeple or what have you on top of the building. And then you look over to the left. I'm like, well, that's got to be the Honeywell Center. So I just went that way, and free parking, can't beat that.
Jeez.
I mean, and they advertise it on the page, free parking. So I call Josh when I get there, and he's like, hey, come to the east side. I'm like, the east side? I'm like, well, that must be the side I didn't go on already. So I mean, because once I'm out off the roads, my sense of direction, north, it's just shot. So I just go around the corner, and as I'm going around the corner, he's calling me. Where are you? And I mean, I was outside when I got there. After I called him, I changed my shirt. I put some extra deodorant on, poured me a Mountain Dew in my Taco Bell cup, and just got ready and walked on in. And so we go into the venue. Ed hands me my envelope, and I open the envelope, and I've got an all-access pass, which could be dangerous. I was good with it, though, Josh, wasn't I? I mean, I could have gone anywhere in the building at any time, and I didn't do it.
You tried once.
Oh, well. What do you mean? Anyway, so, well, I'll get to that in a minute, because I got a little, my eyes got bigger than my brain. We went over and we met Richie and Carl, and they were great, but they were both busy, and we walk out, and they say, take a look around the stage. So I'm like, well, fuck. We walk out on the stage, and I'm looking at Kelly's drum set, and I hear Rich say, go ahead. I'm like, what? He goes, you can get up there. And so as soon as I said that, he goes, but don't play it. I'm like, oh. I almost felt defeated, but I was like, Josh, get a picture.
Yeah.
And that was a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few drum sets I wanted to get behind. Eric Cars is one of them. Eric Singers is another. Matt Fernetta Loverboy, Neil Peart, whatever you want to call him, and Kelly Kagi. And fuck, I was on that. So I got to see his view and look at Josh and see all those seats behind. It was amazing. Yeah. Now, when we took a picture in front of the banner, we've got a couple pictures, Josh and I, each of that. I don't even remember seeing the seats. I was too focused on looking at Josh and trying to be in the middle. But where my eyes got a little bit bigger, I saw Eric's keyboards. I'm like, oh, I wanted to. Josh was like, stop. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Did you like all access, Josh? All access.
Yeah, I should. If I had a lanyard on, I'd be like this. But no, I was like, yeah. I'm like, next time. But it was really cool. We were only out there a couple minutes. I so wanted to get on the platform that they get up on.
Yeah, the riser.
And we probably could have. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
The drum set was enough for me at that point, So that's my Facebook profile picture, of course. And when I posted, I said something like, this just happened, Paige was going nuts. And it was cool. It was a cool experience. An experience I wouldn't have ever had if it wasn't for this page and this podcast. So to the Night Ranger management, road crew, and band, I thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart. You made me feel 12 again.
Oh, and I should have been there.
And it was a good show.
And that was mentioned a couple times.
And that was a good show, like, for you to, to do all that stuff, because that place was just monstrous, stage-wise. I mean, there was just so much room. Like, that probably would not have happened at either
Dayton.
I don't know, but the other two venues, it probably wouldn't have happened just because the stage area was so small. The stage in Wisconsin Dells was just one of the ones, they pop up, and then the Surf Ballroom's so old. I think I was telling you to where there was all that space behind the ramp. That at Surf Ballroom, it was like there was hardly any, like the ramp and then all the storage stuff and then bam, the wall. So, it's, again, venue dictates kind of what you can and can't do. And
sure.
That place, that's why I got so much good footage really from
Wabash.
Wabash. There wasn't a lot of stage stuff with Surf Ballroom because there is no side stage. You're either on the stage or you're not. But I did get good stuff because there was a barrier stage, a little bit of emptiness, and then a barrier with the crowd. So that's why I was able to get stuff right up on the stage. With Wabash, I was able to go on the side and stuff and do, that cool one with Eric where he's waiting for the drum solo to start, and I just got him kind of standing there, doing his thing, and I'm able to walk around him and stuff because there was so much room. And then Wisconsin Dells, there's not a lot of stage stuff. There was a little bit of a barrier, in between stage and barrier, but it was more of a pain in the ass, and everything to get up in between those. So that's why I took some from the crowd, and there's just some different angles. And that's important also why go like all of their platforms, because the Wisconsin Dells, all the live video from that show was on their Instagram. I didn't do hardly any live, or maybe not at all, from their Facebook. So, just, like their Instagrams, like their Twitters,
the individuals.
Yes, the individuals and the bands, because, we're going to make this to where, like the picture little things, but like the picture of Brad warming up tonight at Rockfest on Facebook, it's color. On Instagram, it's black and white. Yeah. So you get it, and the black and white's cool just because it brings out the scratches on the guitar, but then the color's cool because, it shows, again, the guitar in its full beauty. So, and again, that's not hard, but, there'll be that, and then there'll be video that you won't get on Facebook that you will only get on Instagram.
Kind of like an exclusive.
It just to make it interesting and hit everything. So, but yeah, so that there, and again, you're just building trust and everything with them. Right before they went out, I just said to Jack, it's like, why don't I follow you out live? He's like, yeah, let's do that. So this phone right here, just, and I, just taking it at different angles and, trying to get each member, and, but it was cool because you never get to, you don't see that on the home videos, the DVDs. No. It's always the band coming out. And I mean, what does that have right now? That video of them walking out to the stage, 87,000 views.
Love it.
So even if someone didn't watch the whole thing, Night Ranger's in their head. They were at least viewing it for 5 seconds.
They all need to buy one album.
Because I think for it to count as a view on
Reorder.
that, they have to at least watch 5 seconds for it to count. So, so that's got 87, and then, like I said, I did some other things, and I grabbed some guitar picks. That's how I bribe people. Like when I got get in front of them to shoot video, I just give them a couple guitar picks, and they're happy. And I shot some all the way at the top, and shot some from the side. And what's crazy is so I'd go to again, the stage is huge. So on the side is even part of like a ramp that goes up to the stage. So I was going on that side, but I was letting all the ushers and people that work there, I was like, listen, I show them the pass, and I do their social media. In 2 songs, I want to go up here and film, and everybody's cool, right? And I go up there, and some guy, halfway through taps me on the shoulder, and I just, whip out, got the pass hanging from my belt, just whip it around and just show him. He's like, oh, okay, And we talked afterwards. I was like, I just, I thought I told everybody, And he's like, no, he goes, we got a security guy all the way at the top with a and he radioed down. Wow. So it wasn't who I was with. It was someone up there who's not, wasn't there. But Brad actually said something. He's like, they give you a hard time or something? And he goes, I see everything. And I was like, no, it's just, good security, I guess.
They're doing their job.
And, but I did the last part of You Can Still Rock in America, and then kind of walked back and around into the dressing room to get Brad coming off stage. I got Brad kind of doing something like, I don't know, he says, yeah, or something like that. But what was also funny is while they're doing their bows and stuff, I gave, filming, and Jack takes my camera, right? And he's filming everybody. And when he gives it back to me, it's got this filter on, and it's like heavenly clouds and stars and shit.
Yeah.
And
you then all of a sudden you hear what the fuck? And that's Josh. And when I heard that, I was in tears.
Yeah, well, I guess I haven't listened to the audio as much.
That made the video for me. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, because I get this back, and it's like I'm filming Eric, and all I see is like Eric Levy in heaven. It's like Eric Levy in clouds and hearts.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to turn that shit on or off.
Right.
I just see 5 buttons at the bottom, and like I'm going live. So this is going out to. I think at one time I had 900 people watching. So now they're watching Eric Levy in this, this filter. And I just got to push a button. And I'm afraid it's going to stop the recording. I got lucky. I hit whatever button and it took off the filter. So, yeah.
But it left in the what the fuck?
Well, I guess I can tell you how many times I've watched it since then. I mean,
I've seen it about 10 times.
Only 81,000 times.
Well, all right.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, maybe that'll go. That will be the next trousers line.
Yeah.
It'll make people want to go listen to it now.
But yeah, if you do go, it's the second one. It's where I kind of jump in at the guitar solo of "You Can Still Rock in America," and it's like after they've stopped, you'll see Jack take my phone and like Brad does something and blah blah blah, and then next thing you know, there's angels and clouds and shit like that.
Coincidentally, there's a story I have about Jack taking his bass guitar and whizzing it over top of my head. Well, that was the end of the song. It's on the video, and it's probably that high above my head, but I thought it was like I literally felt my hair move from the guitar, and my eyes must have been like this because he knew what he was doing. It was hysterical.
I love it.
But it was a great show. It was just weird because I'd seen them play that venue in 2004.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah, I got one that was further away, and I just started thinking, what would I want to see in a tour book? So I started taking further away shots, trying to get their feet and everything in the pictures. I've got a great picture here. I have 3 of these, but this will be for our daily Brad. 1 week. I mean, look at that.
That's
right
a cool
there.
Shot. Yeah.
Right there. I mean,
it's like I was there, but not at all.
What I thought was really cool was, with the logo in the background that we got our picture taken in front of. When the lights hit that, it changes colors. Yeah. And at this one spot in the show, it's like it looks like almost like a black light. It looks if you were here, it looks 3D in this picture. Yeah, when I post it to the page, you'll see it. It really sticks out. But see, I was trying to take pictures that you don't see, and I got 3 guys in the picture. I took 465 pictures. Hopefully they'll like some of them.
Well, so tell me about meeting up with the people from the page. How cool was that? Because I was really jealous of again, this started as a community to meet and talk and share stories about the band we love. And now what's coming to fruition is actually getting out there, meeting, and just shaking hands and getting photos with these people. And I mean, I loved that when I saw that big group photo you guys did.
There was a few different group photos. I wish we could have met. There was more people there that we didn't meet. And I went through the page. I tried to get everybody's name down that Josh met or I met or we both met. So I might be missing 1 or 2, and I might have one person that we didn't meet added.
I was not there. Make sure my name's not on the list.
One person, just said when she walked up, "Oh, my profile pictures of my dog." Well, there's a couple people's profile picture of their dog that were at the concert. So I went with the one I thought was right.
There you go.
But we met Robin Ledite. See, I said it right, Robin. She informed me that it's not Ludite, it's Ledite.
Oh, okay, good. I would have said Ludite. So
I have it right now. So I'm properly saying it. Mike Smith from Chicago. He told me an interesting story. He was from California, He actually worked for that same company that Jack and Kelly worked for Jack's wife's mom.
Molly's mom, yeah.
Yeah. He worked for that company and wore those same jumpsuits and what have you. He was telling me about it.
How cool is that?
Really cool guy. We met the Rangerettes. The Rangerettes are two ladies, and I'm sorry I don't have their names off the top of my head, but they were in sound check, and they were clapping. They were having a good old time in there.
I think Jen is maybe one of them.
Yeah, and I just don't have them, and I apologize, but they're sweet as can be, and I can't wait to see them again. Janice Rabachka. Janice, my God. She was the one with the red Night Ranger shirt and a hat on, and she was tiny as can be, sweet as can be, too. Cynthia Binder. Brian Bless. Brian was really cool. Brian was behind me taking pictures, and he was sending some to me where you could see my fat, bald head in the pictures. We had Carol Wade sitting next to us. Mike Hetler. He was in our row. And Mike Hetler is going to get another shout out later on. Paul Howe and Chris Dietrich. Those were the first two guys I met. And Paul and Chris walk up and we're talking, and it's really cool. And so Robin and Josh, I think I don't know if you were in the pic. You weren't in the picture, but there's 4 pictures of us together, and that's when the lady that sold me the tour shirt took the picture. And so she got to the last one, and she went, "Act like you like each other." And that's when I reached for his neck like I was Homer Simpson. And he's laughing because he sees me coming at him, and it made for a great picture. But I'm glad he didn't cold cock me, thinking I was going to really,
His defense is just start throwing haymakers.
But Paul Howe and Chris Dietrich, really, really cool. And I think we met Wendy Jones Brock, but I know for sure we missed Nisi Kabrowski because I saw her post after we did photos, and it said, "Dang, I missed it," But it was really cool. It felt like I was in my hometown, having people come up to me, knowing who I was. And I felt bad because I didn't know everybody right off the bat. Some I did. I knew like Mike Smith because his profile picture is his. I knew Brian Bless, but I couldn't remember his name. And that's terrible. But there's how many people on the page? And you're trying to flip through what you know.
5,800?
I mean, the only way I'm going to know Shape and Chapin is ding. If I, look down and see his shoes. No, I know what he looks
Chuck
like.
Taylor's.
Yeah, I'm just playing. But I know his profile picture, But he posts all the time. So there's a drink for you. But, some fabulous people.
Yeah.
And if I'm leaving anybody out, Josh, if you know if I'm leaving anybody out, I don't think you do.
Josh doesn't remember.
I've been combing through the page this week, just writing names down as I had seen them. Because I had a almost 4-hour car ride on the way back.
Well, Josh, now the other shows that you were at, did you have anybody, kind of come up to you during the shows or say, "Hey, I'm so and so"?
I saw, really from the Fans of Motion page, Lori Pierce and her friend Alexa were very front and center, so I met them. That was really it in Iowa. Wisconsin Dells, there wasn't really anybody new, but again, I was doing so much,
right.
That I know some people posted on the page from Wisconsin Dells, but like I didn't really know them. I don't think. Hell, I don't know if. I don't think. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think there's anybody from Wisconsin.
As touring starts to pick back up, everybody come up and say hi if you recognize us and tell us a story. Yeah. Get a photo, man, so we can put it on Facebook and share with everybody that this community, this family.
And we'll tell you when we're going to be there. Like I said, I'm going to try to make Kettering, but I've got to get a ticket. So if anybody's got a spare ticket they don't need, let me know.
There you go.
I want to go. I can't believe how fast that Styx Night Ranger. That thing sold out within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna get a lawn ticket. I'll get one Friday. No.
Yeah.
I screwed up.
All right. So, do you want to move on to some questions, Josh?
Well, let's.
Let's stop.
Well, Brent. I mean, what was great was after the show.
Yeah.
We were just kind of just all out in the hall. And it's not like just a small hallway, just the concourse more than anything.
Yeah.
And just all of us were just
hanging
out, talking, and obviously some people were hoping the band would come out and sign stuff or whatever. And I mean, like you showed earlier, I was sleeping, so I assume you guys were all having fun.
Yeah, we were all just sitting around talking, and nothing bad about you.
Well,
had my fingers crossed all along.
As long as they're talking.
Yeah.
But I think I was up by then because I think I was talking to someone, and then all of a sudden, one of the doors opens, and you see Jack, like, get on in here or something like that, which, was the production room that were kind of working out of earlier that day. But they were great with everybody that had stayed, and everybody was in good spirits, and the fans that were there, everybody, behaved, no one was getting out of hand or just being annoying,
yep.
Whatever, how it is sometimes. And it was all good. And
Carl even came back there, and
Carl. Yeah. Did somebody bring him a coffee? That's what I want to know.
They took care of him. And yeah, I mean that was a good night, all around. So that night,
before you move on to that, I'm going to tell a story about Andy.
Go ahead.
I'm in the room, and I'm just sitting back just watching everybody. Some people I was taking pictures for. I was letting them have their moments, because I'd already spoken to the band. The coolest part of the whole experience for me is walking into that room, and I met Jack earlier in the day, and I said, "Hi, Jack, I'm Brent Walter." And he said, "I know who you are." And I thought, "I'm bullshit," And when I walk into the room, Jack says, "Well, if it isn't Brent Walter," and my mind went to that movie Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger's dressed up as Turbo Man, and he's got to give the Turbo Man doll away in the parade, and he sees his son there, and he yells his son's name out, and his son goes, "He knows my name." Well, when Jack did that, I was like, holy shit, he really does know my name, So that made me feel pretty good.
That was awesome.
So I was in seventh heaven from that point on, and I just kicked back, talked to Eric a little bit, talked to Carl, snap pictures there, and Eric and Kelly get to the end because people were starting to meander their way out. And I don't know if it was Eric or Kelly said, "Where's Andy?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to get too much into his personal life, but, and I explained why Andy couldn't make it. And Kelly's like, "Well, he made the right decision." I said, "Oh, Kelly, Andy. He's just trying." I said, "He's just trying to get another fucking video out of you." Kelly's like, "What?" Because when Andy's mom passed, Kelly recorded the video for Andy, and they sent it to him, and it just lightened the mood a little bit, and they thought I was horrible and funny at the same time. So
That's
really awesome. I mean, again,
so Andy was asked about, he was missed. And so they get the room cleared out, and Ed and Kelly are trying to load me up with beverages, Cokes, water, and Kelly's over at this corner, going, "Brent, you need this. I know you got a long car ride home. Here's some Red Bull. You'll need this Red Bull." And he's like, "It's a Sprite." I said, "Well, my daughter likes Sprite." He goes, "Well, you tell her this is a Night Ranger Sprite." So
Sprite Ranger.
Yeah, so here I am carrying a bag full of just stuff. And so when I got home, my wife woke up the next morning, all the condensation off the cans was all over the counter because I just put it on the counter and went to bed. But yeah, it was just so cool and so surreal.
That's awesome.
And I'm glad our heroes growing up are as cool as we always wanted them to be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And,
so Josh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I mean, you're fine. I don't think you interrupted me, but so that was just a magical night. It was a good night, for a lot of reasons. Some eventually I'll tell as well. Some I can't, but good stuff.
And it was cool hanging out with you, Josh. And I thank you for letting me sit in that seat. And I didn't expect that. Like I said, I could have went anywhere, basically. But
just not sat anywhere.
Well, no, but I mean, I was thrilled. Because I didn't expect that. You should have sold the ticket. You should have gotten your money back, sucker.
Just money. I make it every day. So
that's cool, but thank you.
So the next, and it's always weird just seeing how different these venues are, especially when you see them 3 days in a row and just how everything is. The next show was in Wisconsin Dells. An earlier show, just because, number one, it was a Sunday night. It was kind of a local festival, so it was a lot of local bands playing and then Night Ranger playing. It was at the Grand Crystal Theater or something like that, which is a beautiful theater, but they were having the show outside. So in the huge parking lot, I had a beer garden and different seating sections and tents and stuff.
Was it hot?
Yeah, I mean, nothing unbearable, but yes, I mean, it was, with it being outside.
Well, those guys get up there and Jack's got a jacket on, and I'm like, God, why do you?
It's, but that's the one little perk, it's like, God, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm just going to go get a water. I just walk backstage and a big, fridge full of sodas and water. It's just like, I should have been a rock star, It's just but yeah, I mean, I got some good stuff from that show. Again, that stuff's all on Instagram. I think the still photos I put on the Facebook, but again, you kind of got to maneuver how you take photos, and you don't want to get certain things in. And I think I took a picture when they tequila time on stage, because what's funny is, Carrie was yelling down at me at Surf Ballroom, "Need get tequila." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's on the bus. He's on stage playing, yelling down at me. So I'm doing all this, and I don't know what the fuck. Finally, I found Ed. I'm like, I need this and this. Carrie he's like, oh yeah. So then Ed takes over, but I'm learning on the fly. So I'm going, and getting their tequila for him and everything. But yeah, Wisconsin Dells was a great show. So here is some of the different things. So they only played Eddie, if I remember correctly, at Wisconsin or at
Wabash.
No. Did they play Eddie that night?
Yes, they did.
Oh, well,
that's for the picture I showed of Jack doing that with Brad behind him.
It. They didn't play Eddie, I don't think, at Wisconsin Dells then.
They didn't play Rumors in the Air.
All right, maybe I don't know.
Wabash.
All right, so I'll tell you what I do know. They did do Breakout at Wisconsin Dells. All right, so I did see them play Breakout for the first time. Now, again, I only took a little bit of video and I didn't do it live just because you don't want to do something live and it's their first time playing and it doesn't sound right or they fuck up. So, but they did it good, and it got it really gelled at the end. I was like, all right, they got this now. It's just they got past that part of okay, we're playing this for the first time. So it was fun seeing Breakout for the first time. And again, our page is all built off, we don't have politics, negative. If you're a dick, I kick you off. I don't give a shit. And it's just I don't know. For the 1800th time, do I need to read how we don't like the Ozzy, the Doors, whatever, Alice Cooper, right? Dude, the first 1700 times I got it. It's just it's just and I get it. Would I like to hear, Halfway to the Sun? Yes.
Yes.
All right. But when you're
going to happen?
When you're at these shows and you see them do Breakout or something a little bit deeper, and you see the crowd just stop, and it's just this.
Yeah.
And then you see when they do the Ozzy and the Alice Cooper, and they go fucking nuts. Again, I didn't see hardly anybody from Fans in Motion at Wisconsin Dells or Surf Ballroom, Clear Lake, Iowa. We are the minority. And
I know.
And yes, I get it. But it's music business. And you know what? It's a vibe. You know, when you're up on stage and you're playing, you know, Kiss Me Where It Hurts.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at you, but there's, you know, two fat dudes over there getting into it. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's not play Kiss Me Where It Hurts. Let's go back to, you know, the bread and butter and get this fucking place rocking again. So, you know, I turn the comments off just because, you know, after 100 comments of the same stuff, it's just like, I'm done. You caught me on a day where I'm just done with it. So, you know, that's just what it is. I mean, it's 2021. We got Night Ranger. Just
let's just
enjoy
be happy
it.
with that.
Would I like them not to play Damn Yankees? No, of course. I want to hear, you know, play Neverland, play something off of 7. All right, but again, it would be us fat dudes, you know, doing this while the rest of the crowd was just like, what? You
What
know?
was great was in Wabash, they didn't play the Ozzy and Alice thing, so that was fun. Because I got other songs, you know.
Well, when one of us wins the lottery, we hire Night Ranger for a one-night show.
Well, I think too,
We'll ask if we can do the set list.
It's the type of venue too. So Wabash, it is a Night Ranger show.
That's right.
All right. It's smaller. Tickets are a little bit more expensive because it's just a smaller place.
But it looked huge. When I turned around and looked, it looked like 5,000 people were in there. I don't know how many people it held.
It's a great venue, but that kind of venue, you know, that that these are the hardcore Night Ranger fans, and you can kind of manipulate stuff. When you're playing the Surf Ballroom, and it's 1,800 people, and it is general admission. I mean, it's general admission. Everybody's packed. It's just a rock show. It's not a nice theater where I'm paying $50, $60, $100 to go see Night Ranger. I'm paying $35 for a general admission ticket. It's just a rock show. Now you're doing stuff a little bit different. You're going to include the Ozzy and the stuff to get the crowd going. Wabash is a straight up Night Ranger show. The one in Wisconsin Dells, again, it's more a general show. So you're going to do this stuff to get people in. Plus, you know, it's a Sunday, you know, it's outside, people are tired. It's like, hey, this is me just thinking, this is a good show to breakout. Or, you know.
Well played.
So,
well played, Trebek.
So, rough. Just how your mother likes it, Trebek. Yeah, that's not my name. It's Turd Ferguson. So the venue and where you're playing dictates a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, just come on. Let's, you know.
I know, but in a month from now, it's going to start up again. It always does, and you know.
Well, it's never going to change. We'll make a general statement about it. Moving on. Like I said, I'll take Night Ranger any way I can get them. So
what I don't like, and I don't know who said it, and I'm not pissing on them, but somebody had written the words, "A real fan, fuck you." You know, who's to determine who's a real fan? You know, a real fan can have every song on MP3 but no CDs. But are they a real fan because it's on? You know, no. We can't determine who a real fan is versus, you know. I mean, now you have your common fans, you know, just your everyday, like I said, if it's a free show and you're playing your
here's the thing: your common fans are the ones who are going to fill up 85% of that venue.
I'm talking about like when they like a couple of summers ago there was a free show here. There was about 50,000 people there, and those are what I meant by the common fans showing up that probably haven't bought anything other than the greatest hits. Those would technically not be a real fan. I mean, they're a fan, but they're not a hardcore fan like us three. But to sit there and put in writing a real fan wouldn't want to hear those songs.
Well, I tell you what, if Night Ranger, if we all of us hardcore fans, if we put together a set list,
they'd laugh at us,
and they went and played it. Just any venue. I don't care if it was any of these three, even the Wabash show, it would be dead. Again, you would have the 20 of us fans of motion people there at the Wabash show, fucking going nuts and fucking jizzing in our pants and shit. But fucking
rain comes crashing down.
Yeah,
I didn't see anybody getting pissed off when they played Damn Yankees stuff the other night. Everybody was singing it.
I mean, that's the thing. I still want to hear Damn Yankees. So if this is the only way I can hear it, I'm going to take that. I'm not going to knock that as much.
I mean, think about it though. It's just it's hit after hit after hit, and then the songs that aren't hits, Night Ranger, it's got that fucking drum solo, right? Eddie's Coming Out Tonight. It's got that dueling guitar solo. So, and I mean, Eddie's Coming Out Tonight was on the greatest hits. So, if you are a greatest hits person,
you know the song, you should.
And again, to the real fan, I mean, some people think the real fans are always up front. When I went to Wisconsin Dells, I always walk when I'm doing this to the very back. I always walk to the very back and just look and just take in a different perspective. And I was all the way back there, and there was some dude with his wife. Now, this guy was always probably at least mid-60s, not if even into his early 70s. And he's back there. He's got a Night Ranger shirt. He'd bought the Night Ranger trucker hat. And he's all the way in the back. And, like I said,
having a good time.
I'll take pics and stickers and stuff. So I took a pic out and gave him the pic. Just walked away, and there you go, man. I mean, who's to say that he's, not more of a fan than anybody, but,
I will say what was cool is a couple sitting to the left of me after the end of the show. Richie came up, was talking to me, and they were standing there listening, and I turned to them, and they asked me something, I don't know, about if I worked for them or whatever, and I said, no, I said, but we do have a fan page on Facebook, and I said it showed in my shirt, and I said, and it's called Fans in Motion. I said, and we do a podcast. There's over 50-something episodes on YouTube, and the husband's like, how am I just now hearing about this? I thought that was so cool.
That's good stuff.
So, but a real fan would have known about us.
Hey, piggybacking on that real quick, Brent, I had a guy I bumped into at my work, and I just mentioned he's a musician, as everybody in Nashville is, and we were just kind of just talking about stuff, and I said, me and my buddies do a Night Ranger podcast, and the guy, I saw him again today. He goes, hey man, I Googled you guys, and it came up. He's like, I saw you on the internet. And I was like, that's cool. He's like, I love it, man. That's cool.
What's funny is I got like the Google, whatever, where I don't have to pay, listen to commercials and shit. Mainly for my kid. He likes to watch, all the weird shit on Google or on YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah.
So in my room on the TV up there, when I'm logged into my account, I'm going through all his videos and stuff. And every now and then a Fans of Motion episode will be in that bar. And when you stop on it, it will play. You can't hear it. It's just the video clip. It'll just play 3 or 4 seconds. And then, I'll see it, and now the first time it came up, my kid's like, Daddy's on TV, like weird, right? So now when it comes up and I stop, like, you want to watch this? And he's like, no. He wants to watch whatever he's watching, tornado sirens or, all the shit he likes to watch now. But
You just look at him closely and go, "You're dead to me."
So he doesn't want Daddy on TV no more. But I mean, think about it too. I mean, think about if this was 1985. Just the fact that we could turn on TV and we would be on there, like that's just a weird thought as well. I mean, I would always expect. I would think sometime I would see Brent on there. You know, like life. I mean, they probably had livestock molestation laws back then, but like I'm thinking, it's just a matter of time.
Nah.
Yeah. Brent caught fucking a sheep.
I like
she
the
was
fact
bad.
You lousy sheep fucker. He's a sheep fucker.
Back in the day,
Well,
Brent and I
Brent
would
was
have done anything just to watch catch the "Sing Me Away" video.
Oh God, yeah.
And now I can just pull it up and watch it.
Yeah,
whenever I
kids
want.
don't
I love
know.
that.
Kids don't know how.
It
well
was
they have it.
years before I got to see that video again after I'd seen it only twice.
Well, let's go back to sheep fucking real quick. So
No.
Brent was telling me Saturday night. He's talking about, because you guys were close to Kentucky and West Virginia and stuff, and he was,
I think you're closer to West Virginia than I am.
He was talking about stumping. He called him stumping. I'm like, stumping a sheep. I'm like, what? He goes, that's how you stump a sheep so they don't run away from them when you're trying to, fuck them. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, you take their hind legs and you shove them down your cowboy boots. I'm like, Brent, jeez, man.
Yeah, I
like
never heard of this in my life.
Whatever.
Wow.
What are you saying about yourself?
Don't deny it. Don't deny it now.
It is so late.
I will tell you a true story. Josh and I walked into a bar. We were in a bar hanging out a little bit before the show, and my dumbass, I haven't been in bars forever, and jukebox is playing, and all of a sudden, Soul Survivor comes on the jukebox, off of 7, and I'm looking around, and there's only like 6 other people in this bar, and I'm like, fuck, there's a Night Ranger fan in this bar. I can't believe they got Soul Survivor on the jukebox. And then later on, I think "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" live comes on. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So Josh is looking at me, and he's like, and I realize after all this, the jukebox is literally right next to me. And Josh is like, I've played every fucking song that we've heard since we've been here for the past hour. I'm like, you never went to the jukebox. He's like, it's on my phone. I'm like, on your phone, there's an app for it. I'm like, but you never walked up to the jukebox and got the app thing. I had no idea.
Like I see him walking like through the bar, looking at people. Like,
I'm looking, trying to see who could it be.
And when he's doing that, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, does he?
He can't be that stupid.
Yeah. I didn't even get that far. It's like he can't be. I'm like, yep, he is.
I had
so I let him walk back. I see him looking at the jukebox when something else plays. Like, how did that get on there? And I'm just, after a while, it's just like, all right.
Just shooting fish in a barrel.
He couldn't believe I didn't know, but like I said, I've been married for 20 years. I don't go to bars unless it's to see a band, and the bars I go to don't have those kind of jukeboxes. So
every bar has those jukeboxes.
And he's like, it's called technology, fucker. And I'm like, I've seen Bar Rescue. I've seen this model, but I've never heard of
Bar Rescue.
I've never heard them tell you that you can install an app on your phone and go to any bar that has this blah 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 system and pay for it. So thanks for the music that you're playing in the bar. I was enjoying it thoroughly.
I don't know. I think it was the next day. I was talking to Kelly, and somehow we got on that conversation. I think maybe he brought up Brent being, is Brent slow? Maybe that's how we started that conversation. But we got on Jukebox, and I brought up that app, and I told him, and I pulled up, because what it does is, I guess we were in Wisconsin Dells, and it pulls up the bars that are around you that have jukeboxes that are connected. And I showed him that, and I hit a bar, and it showed what songs were playing, and one song was playing there, and I played Chippin' Away. Now, and I was like, and then you see, and that song had just ended, so now you see Chippin' Away playing. And I'm like, at that bar, 0.8 of a mile away, right now, there, Chippin' Away is playing. And
a lot of people doing this.
Oh, you know what I'll do sometimes, like I always got credits and stuff, and so sometimes when I'm really just bored, I'll hit that Touch Tunes, like the bar down the road or something. I'll just like see what's playing, and it'll be like, like 4 rap songs in a row, and I will just like I'll spend $1.50 in credits just to play like ABBA right in the middle. And it makes me sleep a little bit better just knowing out there I'm pissing some people off. So
just play a string of like ABBA and Air Supply. I mean, just totally take over the whole thing.
Some hot chocolate,
like some biker bar.
Oh yeah,
a lot of Wham.
Oh, biker bar. You sexy thing, you sexy thing. Yeah, do you believe in miracles? Good stuff. But yeah, so I don't think we're going. We're at 2 hours. I don't think we're going to do the fans and motions questions.
Make it the next episode.
Well, we probably need it.
What do you want to record it anyway and split it up?
No, I gotta work.
Josh has to work in the morning.
I'm done, man.
Fuck your questions.
No. We will. It'll just give us more chance to.
No, it gives us another episode to get ready for.
Yeah. But anyway, so Wisconsin Dells was a great show, early show. That was the show that day when I got with Jack to basically help him with his social media. So, still a work in progress. So how it works is basically these guys will send me a photo or something, and, like Eric's today sent me his photo, and it's like me getting ready for, hey, I'm getting ready, to go out to the stage and see everybody here at Rockfest.
Yeah.
So I kind of took what he said, because they're busy. They don't, he just took the picture and just a small message. And then I basically, shortened his message a little bit and cropped his photo for him and took what he said and then went to all his socials and then posted it. So is it now he does, they all have access and can do their own thing, but it's just thought, they're on stage. They don't have the time, or they'll send me something that's afterwards. Like, hey, here's me, at the, the country music or the Musicians Hall of Fame. And this is this guy. And, this is me.
I saw that with Kelly.
And then I got like, well, who, this guy, but what was his, what did he do? Oh, he's the chairman of this. And that guy plays with Taylor Swift. So I take, 3 of his messages and morph them together. And it's his statement, but it's me, so.
Editing. It's editing.
But it's still, because there's people like, it's not them. Well, it's them. I mean, it's just their schedule is so busy.
Yeah.
Especially the show days and traveling to where they just don't have the time to sit there.
Right.
Put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter. And I mean, and I'm good at it. I can copy and paste. I know, I know what formats don't work in copy and paste on, because Instagram's totally different. Twitter's a little bit more like Facebook. Instagram is not. Yeah. I know though to copy and paste into Instagram, because you can't space. Like if I'm typing sentences and I want to put like a space in between my paragraphs, you can't do that. So you have to copy and paste it and then work off there. And so it's just knowing what you're.
You can use that for Jack's profile picture. I caught him on a crazy look.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll like like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got a crazy look of him, dude. I got some great pictures though.
I got some a couple that just turned out really well, Brad. But yeah, so there you go. That's us on the road with Night Ranger. If you're listening to this, I'm going to be at the July 23rd show. I would like to go to the Vegas show, but I highly doubt that. I think the next show that most of us are going to be at is September 8th in Cleveland. Make sure you get tickets. That's Ed, the tour manager's, his brother's memorial show. There's going to be AC/DC tribute band, Boku, which was a iconic Cleveland band, and then Night Ranger. The venue is great. I think it's Jacobs Pavilion now, and we'll all be there. We'll probably be doing something with the podcast. I think we're going to be at maybe the Nashville show, which is the Dixon show.
Yeah.
I may head out to the St. Louis show, which is actually that Columbia, Illinois show. It's a Saturday night, as I'm thinking about going out, seeing the show, staying the next day, and going to the baseball game the next day and rooting for the San Diego Padres.
The Dixon show is being billed as his Brent's birthday bash.
Yeah.
Come watch me turn 53.
It'll be exciting, folks.
Bring Geritol.
And so, yeah, there you got it. And then probably that Lima show.
Yeah.
2022. But there should be more dates, I would assume, coming. Again, everything's still kind of kicking off. And so, yeah. New record coming out. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's 2021, and we're talking Night Ranger. Andy, take us out of this thing, man. Tell everybody where they can find us at. What episode number is this? All that stuff.
Episode number, I have no idea. But you can find us on all your favorite podcatchers. You can go to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Mac, Pandora, Amazon. Hit subscribe. Please leave comments, leave a rating, leave a review. Especially go to YouTube, and we like reading the comments. It's fun. We try to interact as much as we can. The big thing is we ask everybody is make sure you spread the word. Tell a friend. Get another person on board with this this crazy train, if I dare say. And the thing is we've been pushing, and Brent's been the leader on the clubhouse on this one, is you got to get out there and pre-order this album. You got to get your buddies, your friends. Make them. Just make them pre-order. You have to. We got to show that Night Ranger can do this. A #1 album in 2021. Come on.
A pre-order is $9.99 on iTunes if you just want to download it.
Yeah, it's $10. I mean, seriously, people. It's one coffee for Carl. Just Carl can get his own coffee, and we can make Night Ranger relevant on the charts. Yeah. And that's what we got to do. Take rock, put rock back on the charts.
From our hearts to the charts.
And what we need to do is we probably need on the day of the album release, we should probably start some kind of thing on the Twitter with the hashtag shit, hashtag Night Ranger, or we could do that for Fans of Motion, get us trending.
Still rocking in America.
So
go to the Facebook page, Fans of Motion Night Ranger Tribute. Go to the website, www.fansofmotion.com. On that, you can find all the latest episodes, and you can go to a page that has where you can get to us on all those other platforms that Andrew mentioned. Tell a friend.
Thank you, Andrew.
Tell an enemy.
Yeah.
If you're in the Nashville area and you can dog sit, get with Andrew.
Help a brother out. Have too many schnauzers, and they're fun.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
2 hours. Oh, and I will sign this one off by saying happy birthday, Alan Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
It's in my notes right at the very top.
Yeah, thank God you put it there. So I don't think
we never did Fans of Motion news, so I was going to do it there.
That should have been the lead off. We suck.
No. Hold on, stop recording now, and we could do just a little mini episode that you could release of just the Fans of the Wage world. Because right, nobody watching at this point.
Yeah, there is.
No, there is. Yeah, there's people out there who have issues just like us. So, obviously you're not getting the right therapy, but we are your therapy. The romantic in me thinks he's shit-faced right now somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone's pissing him off by playing shit on Man in Motion.
He's like, that album sucks. Play
Fuck
some
those
mantras.
guys.
He's got a credit on there.
He does. All right, we're out of here.
Peace out.
So anyway, we put it out about 2 years ago. We're making a new album right now.